Hello, dear viewers. Thank you so much for joining me for your daily tarot reading. I want to call your attention. I've got a link in the description below for private readings. I just opened up some new times and a new scheduling tool, and it seems to be working all right, and I'm enjoying meeting. I just have the best viewers. That's all there is to it. So before we begin, I want you to take a second to sort of figure out what Source wants you to know today. Figure out what stone Source would like you to pick. And sometimes not figuring out, it's resting into it. And we'll begin. Our magic intuition is engaged. We'll do a golden nugget card at the end for further clarification. For those of you who chose the Yellowstone, we have the Emperor, we have the Hierophant, we have the Queen of Coins. All right. Oh, they're wonderful. Wonderful major arcana, but look at these major arcana. So, wow, this is all about this take charge kind of energy. If you have any kind of legal issue you're dealing with, I think this is a good indicator that stability is yours. If anybody here is dealing with a lawsuit kind of issue, let me tell you, with the Emperor, the Hierophant, and the Queen of Coins, those are good signs. Those are good signs. If you have a cash settlement coming to you or something like that, these are terrific cards for that. You couldn't ask for better cards for that. Now, if there's some kind of paperwork you've got to do or some kind of arrangement that comes through the human institutions. So it could be legal, but it could also be an arrangement that comes through a profession, comes through some other kind of a job kind of thing, some other kind of contract, a purchase that involves a contract. If there's anything coming through that these cards are also good for that. It looks like stability, perhaps wealth. The Emperor is sort of like take charge, make the rules work for you. This is definitely about doing things the right way, though, with the Emperor card. This is definitely about doing things the right way. And this would be about dotting all the I's and crossing all the T's. So very encouraging. If this is a more general kind of reading for you, then the Emperor is simply that good take charge energy that sort of knows, well, if I do this, I'll get that. If I do the other thing, I'll get the other thing. It's cause and effect. It's behaving in line with the greater good, the rules that help the greater good. Sometimes we need rules, and I just can't get around it. I'm a free spirit, and I'm motivated by empathy for others as often as I can be. But you know what? Not everybody is always empathetic. Nobody is always empathetic. Nobody is always compassionate. Nobody is always in a good place spiritually. So we need the rules as human beings. We do. And so the Emperor is sort of embracing that. It's sort of saying, okay, all right, I'm going to embrace that, and I am going to achieve stability that way. Maybe I am going to be behaving in ways that are expected of me. Maybe I'm working with the system today. That's what these cards are. I'm working with the system. And maybe I'm valuing the rules. I'm valuing, because when you think of it, a system of laws that are impartial and apply to everybody, and they're beyond personalities. They're beyond anything else. Though that can keep a society safe. That can keep a person safe. So this is definitely an embrace of that, not a rejection. It's sort of working within the system to wealth or health, bring wealth or health, stability, good things. And respecting our earth. Yes, that too, because she is the earth mother. So excellent. But all things working out in your favor when you do that. I mean, this is an encouragement. This is hey, this will get you what you want. For those of you who chose this beautiful stone that I just purchased, it still has the little tag on it. But anyway, Christie's Crystals. in southern Minnesota. Highly recommend. Okay, we have minor arcana. And so we have the 5 of coins, we have the 2 of swords, we have the 9 of wands. All right. Minor arcana, not a huge deal. Some of them look a little ugly, but you know what? When Source brings these up, it really is to tell us how to avoid the emotional content in these cards. So, like, they're minor arcana, they're passing, they're transient, they're not a big deal. It's not a big deal. If you happen to feel worried about money today, or worried about your health, or feeling shut out in the cold regarding something that is a practical source of security, you know, a tangible source of security, then that is transitory. That is a 5. That is not necessarily something that's going to be the case. It might be a fear. The 5, these 2 are about ready to go into the church doors where there's plenty. You know, they're moving right along. They're moving past. They're moving out of the weather. And then the 9 is sort of this guardedness, like things have been tough lately, or I have a history of things being difficult, and so it makes me guarded, so it makes me worried. Now, that too, we don't have to have that. A lot of times that card comes up to tell me, you're being guarded, you're being worried the worst will happen. And there's no reason to be. Look at you've handled this, and this, and this, and you're still standing. You're tough. You're strong. No need to worry. And then the 2 of swords is a decision to be made. So it's actually sort of holding 2 ways of looking at things, or 2 paths, 2 plans in balance for consideration. You know, and she may need a little bit more information. See, these are swords, so this is intellectual. She may need a little more information. She may need that blindfold to come up, and then she would know which analysis she really agrees with, or which plan she wants to follow. Or if there's no way to get that information, it's just something she has to wait on, she can wait in balance and go with the moon, go with her intuition. But this is a restful pose. There's a little tension in it. It's temporary. She will make her decision. She will see things, you know, she will decide how she sees things. But today doesn't have to be the day to do that. You can relax with that. So very interesting. So there may be some uncertainty that makes you uneasy, and it may not be the day to resolve it. So that's always challenging, isn't it? But we have a choice. We can be restful and we can go with our intuition. Okay, for those of you who chose the Snowflake Obsidian, we have the Wheel of Fortune, the 3 of Wands, the King of Cups. I say 2 because he's holding a cup and he's holding, goodness, what is this? A staff of sorts? It feels like an emperor's, gosh, I know the name for it, but I forget it. Anyway, the Wheel of Fortune is your major arcana. It is saying that it is time for a new beginning. It's time for a new era. The wheel is moving. It's moving, probably slowly, because we have the 3 of Wands where you're looking out into the distance for your ship to come in, for your efforts to pay off. There might be some turbulence beneath you, and you're riding that out. You really are okay. You really are okay. So I think it's sort of like, in spite of the fact that you may be looking out in the distance for your ship to come in, for the reward for your investment and your efforts, and in spite of the fact that there may be turbulence underneath, you are handling it like a pro. You are using your maturity. You are handling any emotions that are turbulent about the situation, and you're moving into a new era. So believe that. This is sort of like, believe that. These cards are given to you to say, this even helps you to navigate this and this, because, you know, it's your intuition telling you, you can believe good things are coming. You really can. So that's nice. For those of you who'd like a little further clarification from the Golden Nugget card, we have the High Priestess reversed. Okay, so when there's a reversal, the card still is in effect, right? You still get the High Priestess saying that you can know things. You have an intuition that you can draw upon today. You have a knowing. It is reversed. And it may be reversed because there's something, maybe it's just this reading that you need to take in to remind yourself that you do know. You do know, and then that turns it upright. You do know, and you can rely on it. It's easy to doubt our intuition, especially when, we're human. And sometimes when our emotions are high or we're very emotionally invested in something, it is difficult to read our intuition correctly. It's sometimes difficult to accept what we're hearing from our intuition when our emotions are going the opposite way. We may be fearful or nervous, and then it's difficult to accept that our intuition is saying, really, it's going to be okay. Or conversely, it may be time to take action and do something, and we're ignoring it because maybe we don't want to accept that it's time to take an action. Whatever it is, whichever direction it goes, the intuition is strong. It is there. You can trust it. I find the best way to get in touch with my intuition when I'm, emotional or kind of worn down, maybe physically, it is cold and flu season, or what have you, highly invested in something being a certain way, so I don't want to hear the other. I find that it's best to take a moment to center and say, I accept whatever reality is. I accept it. I know Source is strong. I know that Source will sustain me no matter what the reality is. I know my happiness does not depend upon certain realities being the case. I know that I can receive joy and self-love and hope from Source. I can breathe it in. I can receive it. I can ask for it. And therein lies my happiness. So when I kind of get my head straight about where my peace and joy comes from, and I connect with Source, I can better listen to my intuition, because then I give every reality permission to be what it is. It doesn't have to be what I think. If I'm in a worse place, boy, I want reality to be what I want it to be. I feel like it has to be what I want it to be, or else this bad thing or that bad thing. You know what I mean? So it is good to, if you get the High Priestess reverse today, it is good to go through some centering process that helps you to be open to knowing what is the case. And oh gosh, almost always that knowing gives such peace and joy and hope. So, and you know what? Even jeepers, I don't know what I was saying. My phone overheated and turned off the camera. Anyway, I was talking about that centering exercise so that you can then, this card is definitely saying, you can then trust that your intuition is very strong today, that you do know that you are the oracle today. I thank you all so much. You take care, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.